and welcome back to my channel for this week's video. This week I'm going to talk about a topic I've talked about several times already, which is being divorced. But this week I wanted to discuss a few things that I feel like I've never really expressed to anybody else. I do think that being divorced has a big stigma attached to it, and also, it's really embarrassing. For those of you that, have been divorced, you probably know what I'm talking about, having to tell your friends and your family and everything, that you just couldn't make something work, and that just really, hurts your heart. Especially with Christians, I think that it's even harder because then I've heard a lot of other people talk about how people in the church looked at them differently, and it's like, oh my gosh, that's just, not okay in any, form. So I'm going to talk about just 3 quick things that I feel like I've never really told anybody or expressed to anyone else about my divorce. So stay tuned. I think the biggest thing for me about being divorced and things that I never really discussed with anyone else is that I felt like God was mad at me, and sometimes I still kind of feel like that. It's really hard when you feel like you've just done some unpardonable sin, which everybody sinned, big or small or whatever, and God doesn't necessarily put a hierarchy on our sins. So it's really hard for me to get out of the mindset of feeling like God's mad at me, because this wasn't even something that I feel like I had control over. I mean, you can't make another person stay with you. You can't make another person love you. You can't make another person feel the way they should, or, do what they should do. So I really, still internalize that a lot, and I really, think about it every now and then. Not as much as I did before, but it really bothers me, and I feel like, should I have done something else? Should I have just stayed because I got married in the first place? But I mean, to me, there was no option for that. And I feel like I'm so much happier not being in that marriage. I feel like I've just, grown into my own. And I feel like I would never have done that with him. I mean, I absolutely would never, knowing what I know now, would never have gotten married, if it was possible to go back in time. So I feel like I made the best decision for me, but at the same time, I feel like, even if that wasn't who God wanted me to be with, and I just jumped the gun and I did it and it was foolish and stupid, does God recognize that I made a mistake and he's forgiving me? And I do know that he's forgiven me, but at the same time, it's just something that I struggle with every now and then. The second thing that kind of goes in alignment with the first one is that, have I missed the boat? Have I messed up my life so bad? Have I, really just gone so far off track because getting married to someone that I shouldn't have, has that just, made me just go so far left that I, will never be able to find true happiness, that I'll never be able to find the spouse that I'm supposed to be with, that, my soulmate's off married to someone. So that's something that I really thought about a lot. And even though I'm dating someone, I still kind of think that, even though things are, pretty good with us, I mean, everybody has their problems, and, he's deployed right now, and so it just comes with a lot of insecurities, on my part and things like that too. So it's really hard because, one respect, I want to trust that God has his best for me, and that he's going to give me his best. And, hopefully the guy I'm dating is his best. So far, things are good, like I said, but, I really feel like I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop sometimes, and that's been just kind of hard because on a lot of different levels, I really feel like, I don't know, that something's gonna happen, something's gonna happen to mess things up, because I don't know, do I deserve to go and be able to be happy and live this life with someone else when I got a divorce, and God says that divorce is sinful. So it's been really stressful, and it's definitely something I wrestle with because I'm praying for my relationships, and none of them this far had worked out. And so now I'm in this one that I feel like God has sent me for the first time. And it's still hard. Like, it's still hard to like get your heart right, you know, and for you to be able to be trusting in him that he has, you know, still has his best planned out for you, even though you were off track. And so that's just something like I've definitely been struggling with, obviously. So yeah. I think that there's a lot of worthiness and self-worth issues that come along with being married and getting a divorce. It's like you question literally everything, and it's just something that you don't vocalize to everybody, that you just question every single last thing about life. Like, am I meant to get married again? Am I even meant to have kids? And, you know, the older I get, like, I really question, you know, those things. Like, is someone really gonna love me? Am I ever gonna be able to truly trust someone? Can I ever really let go of, you know, the hurtful things that I've felt in the past, and, you know, let someone else love me and, you know, receive love, and, you know, feel like I'm in a good place and trusting and things like that. So I think that's just been hard. It's just like questioning everything and feeling like I said, like missing the boat. Like I messed up so bad that like I can't even get back on track, or even if it feels like I'm back on track, like what's next? Like what's gonna happen to mess that up? So I feel like I constantly live in a state of that sometimes, and that's been pretty hard. So the last thing that I wanted to bring up, I think that I can probably speak comfortably for a lot of people that are divorced when I say that things were a lot worse than I would ever tell someone. I feel like there's a lot of things that went on, a lot of things that were said, like a lot of like really deep, you know, issues and, you know, hurts and wrongs that I felt like were done to me that I would never vocalize to anybody, you know, partly because of the embarrassment, but, you know, also because, you know, I allowed these things to happen for so long and I didn't get out of things sooner, and I should never have married this person in the first place. So it's like, you know, the embarrassment, the judgment that you feel like you'll receive because you stayed in a relationship that you know you should have gotten out of. So it's just been hurtful to like think about the fact that like I allowed certain things to go on for so long, and I wasn't strong enough at the time to, you know, get myself back on track, to get out of this situation, to stand up for myself more, to, you know, not even, you know, question who I was as a person and my worth and value for someone that, you know, was definitely not even worthy of everything that I could give them. Didn't even want to receive all the goodness in me at the time. So like I said, that's just been like a really hard thing, is that, you know, I do have some things that are internalized a little bit because I feel like I would never, you know, bring certain things up or tell somebody certain things for fear of those things. And so it's been hard to say the very least. So those are my top 3 things. I really wanted to get them off of my chest just in case anybody else is struggling with similar issues. Divorce is just like, there's just so many levels to it. And I know that people think that, you know, these common law marriages, we've been together 7 years and blah, 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 so we're married in our hearts. And, you know, I kind of understand that, but at the same time, it's like, that legally binding, you know, oath that you took before God, like, thing is a lot stronger mentally and spiritually than I think that anybody knows until they're actually in it. So it's like, yeah, you can empathize with me. You've been in a long relationship, you have kids together, things like that, but I still feel like you just don't know, and it's really hard to talk to my friends because nobody's really divorced. Like, I've seen people on Facebook like get divorced and things like that, that I went to high school with, but nobody that I've actually sat down and talked to about it. And you know, it's kind of hard. It's really isolating. People just don't understand. And then as I'm getting divorced at 30, you know, my friends are having kids and getting married, so you know, our lives are you know, different directions. You know, one thing I did say is like, I'm glad I got divorced when I still had pretty years left, because God help you people that get divorced at 40 and 50 and, you know, you're not so cute anymore. I'm kidding, sort of. But yeah, so it's just really been a struggle, and it's really been something that's, you know, a big part of my life. Like being divorced, like still carrying his last name, like stresses me out. But, you know, I said that I was going to keep his last name for a while because it's too much stress to try to change it, in hopes that maybe I'll get married again. You know, if I get to 40, you know, 5 years from now, if I'm, you know, still no hope or still no prospects, or Cece and I have long broken up or something, God forbid, like, and then I'll change my name. But for right now, like, I'm not going to change it and then change it back. Like, I still am holding out hope right now. But anyways, I hope that this video has helped some other people, and I hope that, like, if nothing else, maybe you can empathize with your friends that have been divorced, or if you're divorced yourself, you know, you can see yourself in what I'm saying. Comment below, share this video if you feel like it might help someone as well. Recommend it to someone. I need all the, you know, free promo I can get, but I appreciate you guys for continuing to watch. Give my video a thumbs up, share, comment if you have one as well. Thank you guys.